The sound of Coventry on 101.5. Radio Plus. This is Radio Plus.
I'm Mark Sephton. I'm a volunteer for Radio Plus Coventry. I have my good friend Gael Bigirimana here. Gael, I'm glad one of us made the effort dressing up for the interview. And it's great to be in your home and excited, to kind of share some of your story. But for people that don't know you, don't have the privilege of knowing like I have, how did it all start? I'm always fascinated by people's journey. Obviously my journey and yours are very different, but maybe share a little bit.
Obviously I was born in Africa in a country called Burundi. I've got, on my mother's side I have 3 siblings, one sister and two, both of them are older than me, and 2 brothers. And then my dad's side, before my dad got with my mom, he had a child, a girl. So I've got an older half sister. But I think growing up in Burundi, obviously my mom, she used to go to church, and she was she was in a choir, sort of a choir. She worshipped. From what I know of my dad, he sort of went to Catholic church, Catholic sort of school. In a sense, faith-wise in religion, well, people say religion. So it was my dad and my mom were sort of raised up in that. So as I grew up, I start obviously got to the point where my mom, the story, there was a time where she kind of went away, and she was not in God's path, and then the Lord managed to bring her back, and she started going to church and worship again. So she started taking us to church, and from there, that's my first memory of going to church. But as a kid in Africa, all I did was go to school, come back and go to the streets without shoes on the street, and just play football until it's night, and then you basically sleep, go to school, play, sleep, go to school, play. So it was it's a good memory to remember and to cherish. And from there, that was obviously come to England and into the West and start knowing the Western world. There is a lot of toys and PlayStations and these and stuff like this, but where I was raised up, the only toy you could say was football. So and that's how it all started from.
Going back to that moment, I was right on the sideline. And it was crackers. I looked at all the support from the left right across to the right, up. Everywhere was full. And I was right next to the Oxford fans, and that was quite comical because the Coventry fans were singing with such passion. They were singing about in our Coventry homes. We've got an accent that's exceedingly rare, and I could see like these Oxford fans kind of really resonating. They could see the passion. And then to actually then go ahead, we couldn't even buy a win in the league, and yet in this Checkatrade trophy, beating team after team, it was almost like our name was always on the cup. That's kind of how it kind of was. But then the euphoria of actually winning that, and then the aftermath, and obviously the press spoke to you and George. What was kind of like the impression that you got for that? Because I know that you were really quick to obviously give God the glory. What was some of the thought behind that?
We knew that going to the game, we knew that Oxford, they battered us at their ground 4-1, and that we were not at our best, but they were everything they did on that night worked for them, and so we knew that in some sense we're going into this game as underdogs. And so to get that first goal, first of all, of course, the fans, when we had the fans, we were like, that gave us strength, that encouraged us. And so it gave us confidence and belief. But to get the first goal, hope. And it's crazy. I think 2 Sundays before that, or 1 Sunday, a man from Oklahoma. He leads the church, Gate Church, Bishop Tony Miller. He spoke a word over my life, which is the Spirit of God speaking through him. And then he was saying, I'm a hope giver. I'm a hope giver. And he was saying, you know, and there's so many things that I said, but one of the things was about hope. And we live in a world where there's so many places where there is no hope. So many things happen where people lose hope just like that.
Yeah.
And if I can be obedient to God, that He can reveal Himself and bring in this hope out of me and people to see and experience them, that's more than enough for me. And so when that happened, obviously I didn't think about, oh, this is hope.
Yeah.
But when it happened, first of all, it was a humbling moment. And first of all, and then I realized it was as if like the whole team and the whole fans were like, yes, we can do it. Yeah, we're going to do this. Yeah, we're going to win it. There is hope, like, and not just hope, but there is a strong hope. Like we are 1-0 ahead at Wembley, 12 minutes, like, and funny enough, so last Saturday we played Peterborough, and in the match program, there's an interview that George did, and George Thomas, and they asked George, when the first goal went in, what was your reaction? What did you thought? Oh my gosh, I think we can do this. Hope. And when you play with hope, when you live with hope, hope will never fail you. So obviously, and then after the game, I knew, because before the game, I prayed a prayer that I've never prayed before. And I'm not basing what happened because of that prayer, but it, in a sense, there was an understanding of who I am. And it's a prayer that Jesus prays to God, Father in heaven, and He says, Father, glorify your Son so your Son may glorify you. And before I uttered that word, there was kind of like, whoa, hang on, that's Jesus. I'm not Jesus. But Jesus came to make every man and woman sons and daughters of God. So when I stood there, I felt the Spirit of God saying, you are the Son of God, so you can't say that. And I said, here I am, use me. And after that, there was no fear. And so I knew after the game, and of course, like, He used me. He did glorify Himself. He used me to glorify Himself. And so there was no chance that after the game, with all the interviews, with all the opportunity, and because that was my prayer. Use me to glorify yourself. And He did that. And He's gonna continue to do that. 100%. Yeah.